What's going on, everyone? So Dalton Knecht was excellent in this Las Vegas Summer League and just Summer League period, right? Even the California Classic, he averaged 21 points, right? He showed his ability to be a legit 3-level scorer, right? His playmaking was actually very impressive in my opinion. He's not a playmaker, but his ability to kind of keep that hockey pass going, find the occasional cutter, right? Like just that versatility is very important, and I think will only improve. Obviously, we have to see what he translates to the NBA. Is he going to be able to right out the gate? Is he going to be comfortable just playing in a role? I don't expect him to play 30-plus minutes a game, but can he be a real rotation piece? Can he be one of the 8-9 guys that, he's getting 15 to 20 minutes a game on average? I think that that's a real possibility. And I do think what you saw with Dalton Knecht in Summer League with just far less superior talent, right, compared to like LeBron James and Anthony Davis, and the playmaking and the opportunities that Dalton Knecht's going to get, the wide open looks he's going to get, like all of those factors I think really do play a role, right? So I do think that there is the potential that Dalton Knecht really does take some strides, particularly as the season progresses. But what I want to kind of dive into in this video is the expendability now of Austin Reaves and the likelihood that eventually you're probably going to have to trade him, right? So the Lakers kind of want to, based on reports, and they did it a little bit last year, and it's particularly because of Austin Reaves himself, kind of making him a point guard. I don't think he's going to be able to be a point guard. One, you do not want him defending NBA point guards through especially in the Western Conference. That guy will get just put in a spin cycle constantly. Two, he gets too much tunnel vision, and he isn't there's a difference between a playmaker and a guy that can make plays. Austin Reaves can make plays. He can run the basics. He can operate in the pick and roll. He can find the occasional cutter. He can keep the swing pass live, right? All of those things are important, right? You want to have that, right? Can he initiate the offense and kind of get the, yes, of course. But he doesn't have the vision, right? Watch like some of the games where D'Lo got to actually play point guard, right? So the games that LeBron was out and D'Lo's giving you like 10 plus. Watch how he reads things before it actually happens. Right? Because he's reading and scanning and surveying the defense, and he's creating. He's having things unfold. He is seeing things transpire and knows that, okay, there's only 1 to 2 possible outcomes, so I need to get it here. He's analyzing because he's experienced in that regard, right? Austin Reaves just doesn't have that vision. Doesn't handle ball pressure well. And again, particularly the defensive side of things. Now, again, can he evolve maybe into that? Sure, but is that really the best course of action for the Lakers? And they have guys like Jalen Hood-Schifino for the future. They have guys like Bronny James if he's ever going to become something, right? Like, they have things that you're kind of like, at some point these guys are going to have to play. And then you look at the 2 spot. Yes, Dalton Knecht. You could slot him at the 3 because, he's 6'6", but he's probably best at the 2, right? Because a lot of the wings, particularly the 3 spot in today's NBA, they're all, they are all kind of like 6'6" to, on occasion, that 6'8" range, mostly in that like 6'6" to 6'7" range, but they're just usually hyper athletes that can knock down the shot and, create and do things for themselves. I just think you look at the 2s, and just in general, obviously there's variations at every position, but I think the general 2s, a lot of them in today's NBA are just kind of spot-up guys. Obviously, you have like the Anthony Edwards and stuff where you're just like, yeah, like you don't want that. But I also think Dalton Knecht, with his size, his kind of bold, he's a bigger Austin Reaves, right? And I just think he would have more success defending 2s in this league and using kind of that size advantage of being able to knock down the shot. But you also have Max Christie, which at some point, again, he's more of a 2 than he is a 3. So one of those 2 guys is going to have to be the 3. assuming that they actually become like Max Christie actually evolves into that legit two-way guy, which he had the promise. He was one of our best defensive players last year in the limited time that he got, and he shot 40% on catch-and-shoot threes. He is a 3-and-D guy right now. He's also, 21? Just turned 21? So, like, he's a guy that still has a ton of upside, ton of potential, and at some point, you're probably going to want him to be your starting two because of his defense and versatility, which means then you are going to have to move Knecht to the 3. Knecht and Christie are probably our 2 and 3 for the future, right? Or it's Reaves, right? Like, and then you're moving Max Christie. But again, with Dalton Knecht, with his size, I just think Dalton Knecht allows you now, and I'm not saying it has to be this year, right? I'm not saying that at all. But I just think you're going to reach this inevitable point where all 3 of those guys aren't going to be able to coexist because they're all arguably best at the 2 spot. But Knecht's the one that you can move to the 3 and be comfortable in, right? So to me, it's like, okay, you have Max at the 2, you have Knecht at the 3. Are you really going to play Reaves at the point? Like, if you want to be terrible and a lottery team every year, then sure, right? But unless Dalton Knecht just becomes an elite defensive player, which I don't think he'll be that. I think he'll be serviceable. I think he'll be good enough to kind of hold his own at some point. He has the speed, he has the versatility, he has the athleticism, the size, the length. He has the tools that you want, right? So I look at it and I go, okay, look at the Lakers' young core. Right? And you look at the young core and it's like, who's the odd man out, assuming guys develop to the right point? Right? It's Austin Reaves. And I love Austin Reaves. Again, I like Austin Reaves. I don't necessarily want to try. Now, I was in the camp of trade Austin Reaves for DeJounte Murray. Right? Like, if you can get a clear upgrade for Austin Reaves, I think you do it. Right? But I don't want to just trade Austin Reaves. And I think, look, and I was very critical of Austin Reaves this past season. And even through all my criticism of him, he still had a decent season, right? For a guy, like, I think a lot of people really are like, oh, he's a bum, he's trash. The guy still averaged basically 16, 5, and 5 on a down year, on a terrible year. I just had the expectations and was going off of what I saw the previous year and was like, he should be bare minimum a 25 and 5 guy. And, which if he shot 40% from 3 or 39% from 3 like he did the previous year, guess what he would have been? 25 and 5 guy. So I do like Austin Reaves. And I do want Austin Reaves to stick around, but at some point you're going to have to make the tough decision. And so it's either Austin Reaves or it's Max Christie at some point. I think Max Christie is, 1, the better defensive player, and 2, I think he just has the floor. Like, Austin Reaves is closer to his ceiling than he is his floor. Max Christie is still, because of his age, I mean, you're talking, he's like 4 years younger, like maybe more than Austin Reaves. Right? So that means literally, like, Max Christie could just develop the next 3 years, and he'd still be younger than Austin Reaves is right now. And I just think that the potential for Max Christie is just far better. Right? And some of our best lineups last year were with Max Christie, and some of those were without Austin Reaves. And we were still very good. Right? But it's also the trade value. Right? Austin Reaves is our best tradable asset, which is why I'm not saying you go and make the move necessarily right now. Like, I think you kind of do the patient game. Plus, you still need to see, like, what if Knecht he doesn't translate to the NBA? What if he does have his struggles, right? Like, then maybe you're looking to move Knecht, right? But I do think there is this potential where you're going to reach this point where you're going to have to make this tough decision. And I just think Max Christie eventually is going to be the guy that you're going to keep. Dalton Knecht, I think, will be the guy that you're going to keep. And then Austin Reaves will be the expendable one, and he has the highest value. See how Knecht becomes. But let's say even if all 3 have like the same value, I still think Austin Reaves is the guy that you move. Right? Because I like Max Christie for his defensive purposes. I think Dalton Knecht gives you a lot of the same stuff Austin Reaves. I think Dalton Knecht and Austin Reaves kind of eventually, again, not saying right now, but eventually will create this redundancy where it's like we kind of have two of the same player, right? Which is kind of a problem with D'Lo and Reaves right now. It's like you kind of have two of the same player, right? Yeah, obviously they have some differences, but they have some similarities. Same thing with Knecht and Reaves. So I just think eventually you're going to reach that point where it's like, got to get off them. And then your guard position, if Jalen Schifino ever becomes something, then there's your point guard. Or Bronny James, right? If he ever becomes something, then there's your point guard. And then you still have Maxwell Lewis, right? Who, you know, I know he wasn't great in Summer League, but, you know, he showed that he was better than he was the previous year, and he's still very young too. So can he keep making that progress? And then he's a guy that you're going to be playing slotted at the 3. Traore, I think, is going to be our Jared Vanderbilt, but better offensively. Maybe not as good defensively, but I think he has the potential to be excellent offensively. So I think you're going to have him, and he's going to grow and develop into something great. And then you have Blake Hinson, who, so you just kind of look at the young core, and it's like, again, like this could be 3 years down the road. I'm not saying it has to be right now. Probably ride with Reaves, just based on the Lakers, like how they perceive Austin Reaves. Like he's this untradeable, no way he can't do it type player. They probably keep him bare minimum throughout the LeBron and AD stretch, and then maybe look to move him. But just kind of a thought. Like I was like, man, if Dalton Knecht really becomes something, Austin Reaves is probably going to be the odd man out. But anyway, as always, this is a discussion. Pass the question on to you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. What do you think? How do you feel? What are your thoughts? Do you like the idea of, kind of Austin Reaves potentially being expendable, maybe looking to move him? Again, doesn't have to, I'm not necessarily saying this season. Obviously, if something opens up and something becomes available, then yeah, I think you do it. But again, it just depends. But how do you feel? What are your thoughts? Do you think, like, yeah, it's probably going to be Max Christie. It's going to be, Dalton Knecht. How do you feel? Whatever your thoughts are. Love to hear it. Let me know down in the comments below. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me a lot. So we enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. Not subscribe channel, hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one. Thank you.